Hello, everyone, and welcome back for my 12th episode, 12 weeks on board. And we are currently heading to Houston, and we'll be arriving pretty soon, actually. And then straight from there, in about a day, we will be heading across the Great Pond to Europe. So we have a big trip and plan ahead of us. And we have our final lottery ticket for this week, our grand finale, I guess. And will we win or end on a win, or are we going to end on a bust? Let's find out. So here we are. Got our last ticket, number 18, with our coin. Are we going to get rich today, or are we going to live to scratch another day? So let's see what we got. We'll start with the bonuses. We have a $200 deficit to make up, so we have a 50-50 chance of hitting something today. Too bad the $200 winner didn't hit. That would have been our break-even prize, but there's still a chance we can get something. Alright, so the bonuses didn't pan out, so let's take a look downstairs. Maybe we'll get a symbol down here. I haven't seen those yet, other than for the $100 bonus that we won on a previous ticket. So let's see. 19, nope. 36, nope. I read up on the win. That was $1.28 billion for the Mega Millions, and the winner selected the lump sum. And I think they only got like $400 million after taxes and whatnot. And that's kind of a huge loss to have 1.8 billion of your prize get knocked down to 400, and the rest of it goes to the government. So yeah, but I mean, 400 million, that's still a lot of money to enjoy on your own. Hopefully the winner spreads to wealth, but we'll see if we get a win here today. Nothing yet so far. I mean, we had 68, but we have 8, 48, and 38. So we're kind of close. 62, well, we had 63 and 64. 12, nope. 69, well, getting the 60s through. 22, nope. 41, nope. So 26, not quite. 16, well, we had a 17, we're close. I think that's 29, but not a winning number. Unfortunately, with our schedule, when we pull into Houston, I won't be able to get ashore, but sometimes that's the sacrifice you make in this business. You just stay on board and work. 49, well, 48, close. Still have a chance. Got 10 more numbers to go. 32, nope. 46. 13, well, there's our lucky number. I don't think we're going to meet the odds, but you never know. If we win on this ticket, then the odds are accurate. We will have won one ticket for every 4, or every 3 rather. I think the odds are, let's take a quick look. Yeah, 1 and 2.9. So every 3 should be a winner. And we got 3 winners for 12 tickets so far. So let's check out the last line of numbers. Not quite. 44, nope. 111. Just like from episode 11. Alright, you know what it's time for. Let's see what we can do. Can the clutch corner save us? That's just a $40 prize. I'll take it if it's a winner. Let's find out. And we didn't make it. So unfortunately our grand finale ended on a bust, but we had a lot of fun. We invested $400, we got $200 back, so 50% of our earnings, and $200, that'll buy a lot of pizza when I go home. So we got some stories and interesting facts to discuss, so let's take a look. Let's check it out. Alright, hello everyone, and today is actually my 90th day on board the ship for this trip. I actually did a previous trip on this ship, and I did about 90 days there, and then I went home for a few months before returning here for additional work. And if I was doing a 3-month contract or a 12-week contract, which is why I bought 12 lottery tickets, because I thought I'd only be on board this long, I'd actually be going home today when we arrive in Houston. But I decided to stay on for another 2 months, so I got another 60 to go. And that way I can actually be home for the rest of the year. If I had gotten off the ship today, I would have probably a 90-day vacation, another 3 months, and I'd be coming back in November. And I actually want to be home for the holidays this year, because for the last 3 years I missed Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's being on a vessel. And unfortunately, sometimes that's the sacrifice you make in this industry. But if you are able to work those holidays with certain ships, the company, they will just throw the money at you. They give you a lot of holiday pay, which is great. And most of the holidays on most ships, you actually only work for like a few hours, but you will get a full day's pay for it. So it's kind of like even more money for the amount of work that you do, because it's a holiday. You're entitled to some rest, and that's the compensation that you get for being away from family and friends. So I would like to be home for the holidays this year, and now that I'm an uncle, I would like to buy many presents for my new niece. So that's added incentive for me. But 3-month contract is typical on most ships. I think a previous standard was actually 4 months. I know when I worked with MSC, you would do a minimum of 4 months, and then you would request relief or change to a different ship if you'd prefer. But I always try to do 3 months on, 3 months off. I think that's an acceptable rotation. When I come back for the next trip, I'm actually going to be on a regular rotation with another engineer, and I think he wants to do 120 and 120, which I'm also fine with. It's just a little extra money and a little bit more vacation time, and we'll be able to baseball it. I think they describe it as that I will relieve him, and then he'll relieve me, and we'll more or less be the permanent engineers on board. I have heard of contracts that can be like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, as low as that. And I think maybe 6 months on and 6 months off is the highest rotation contract that I have heard of. But I don't know if you can see, but I'm wearing my POW MIA shirt, and one of my favorite shirts. The logo's kind of faded from repeated washings. But I actually bought this shirt when I was in Gettysburg, when I was there camping with friends, and it's a lot of fun. We always go there for the historical aspect of it. They do a lot of battle reenactments there. There are lots of museums and a lot of history in that area, and we love going to the museums and the tours. But and the campsite that we go to is always a lot of fun. I just wish it didn't rain so much there. Me and my friends, we go there about every summer, or at least we have been for like the last 4 or 5 years. And the first time we went, I think we stayed 4 days, and it rained for 3 of them. And we kind of learned the hard way of what to do and what not to do in terms of preparation for that kind of camping trip. But we love going to the campsites, and we just another big aspect of our trip to Gettysburg is ghost hunting, which is just all in good fun. We're not trying to conjure any evil spirits or anything, But we always go to the battlefields, and one of my friends swears that on one trip that he actually took with his school one year, like a field trip, he believes that he saw a ghost of like a Confederate soldier. And I can't disprove that, but I tend to have an open mind about it because you never know what's out there. You could be walking along in the battlefield in the dead of night, and you may see something, and that actually holds true for me. And I assure you, I'm not crazy, but I was driving my friends and I through the battlefield park before it closed at night. So it was pitch black, and it was actually raining really hard. And we actually got out. We pulled over to the side and got out and did some investigating. Even though it was pouring rain, we got out and we walked around to see if we could find anything. But we didn't, so we got back in the car and we continued driving around. And then I round a corner and I stop immediately because there were statues and monuments all throughout the park. And I swear I thought I saw a statue move on me. Like it was a statue of a person, but I swear I saw it move, and I froze in fear, and I was screaming in the car. I was like, "What the is that? What did I just see?" And I was just frozen, and it's dark out. I have the headlights beamed on this one statue. I swear I saw it move, and it just terrified me. And we got out and investigated, and we looked at it, and it was indeed just a statue. And sure enough, it likely didn't move, but maybe my eyes just played tricks on me late at night. But I just remember that moment, and it frightened me. And we have a lot of fun going on tours. One of the tours involved a museum of haunted items, and one of them was a mirror that if you stare directly into the mirror at your own reflection, it causes you to age quicker. So you don't want to stare into it too long. You don't want to put a few years on your life or take a few years off your life just by staring into the mirror for a few minutes. I mean, I don't know how advanced the aging accelerates, but you definitely don't want to get too old staring at that thing if it were true. They actually held the mirror high up on the wall so you couldn't actually see your own reflection in it, but you could still see the mirror, so you wouldn't get the effects of that cursing age thing. And they also had a couch that belonged to some previous owner who had passed away, but they say his ghost haunts that couch, but not in a malicious way. They say that if you sit on the couch and after a while you will actually feel like a hugging sensation, and it's actually the ghost of that owner just giving you a hug, being friendly. I don't think it's Casper, the friendly ghost, but that's what they say happens if you sit on this chair or this couch for too long, that you'll feel like somebody's hugging you. And I thought that was kind of nice because cursed items don't always have to have an evil purpose. It could have a nice or neutral purpose as well. And there were a lot of few other items in there. I think there were like dolls and masks and other items that had a bit of history behind it, or tools that they found on the battlefield after all the wars or battles that took place, and just some information behind them. So I always love my trips to Gettysburg, and I hope I can go next year because I spent the summer out here on the Sagamore. But definitely when I go home for the holidays, especially for Thanksgiving, my high school has a traditional football game that they play called the Green Bowl, and me and my family love watching it. And for the time that I was growing up and going to the high school, we would love to go to the games. I loved playing in them because I did play football for 4 years, and it was a lot of fun. Very big tradition. We got to watch our team play, and not to brag, but our high school won like 14 or 15 Green Bowls in a row against our rival, which has the same school colors as we do, which is green and gold. And it's just a lot of fun. And then we get to watch the game. We get to watch it with some hot chocolate, and we get to go home and have some nice turkey and watch some Thanksgiving shows and just relax and enjoy the long weekend. And then for Christmas, Christmas is a lot of fun. I just love the decorations, the cold weather, the snow, the food, and the presents, of course, and then also the TV shows. And And my mom kind of traumatized me and my brothers with Frosty the Snowman show. At the time, we had VHS tapes, so she would record stuff off TV with them, and she recorded Frosty the Snowman for me and my brothers, and we were watching it one night or one day, and she was in the kitchen or somewhere in the house, either decorating or baking cookies, and she bakes like 100 million cookies a year. It's just phenomenal, and they're delicious, and I put on like 20 pounds eating them. But she's in the other side of the house, and then all of a sudden she starts hearing me and my brothers screaming and crying. So she runs over, and as it turns out, she recorded the Frosty the Snowman movie, and it cuts out when he melts, and that was it. And to this day, I still don't believe that Frosty the Snowman ever comes back. I mean, obviously he does if you watch the rest of it, but all I remember in my memory from watching that is just seeing the girl crying over the puddle of water that Frosty the Snowman had melted into, and then Santa Claus comes in, sees her crying, and talks to her for like a second, and then it cuts out, and that's it. That was the end of the movie, and that's what I believe is Frosty the Snowman, unfortunately. And then New Year's. We don't really have any kind of special tradition for New Year's, but I know for a number of years my parents would order a seafood platter from a restaurant, and that's one of the ways that we would celebrate bringing in the new year. Some years we've had parties where we stayed up until midnight and watched the countdown on TV wherever they were holding a celebration, usually in Times Square or some other big location in the country, and we'd have champagne and wine and hors d'oeuvres and appetizers and other snacks, and just to have a good old time. So that's what I'm hoping to look forward to this year when I come home for the holidays. And speaking of other traditions, I just wanted to go over a few school traditions, which I think were kind of fun. I might have mentioned one or two of these already in one of my other videos, but I like going over them again just because of the memories and reminiscing. When I went to college, we had indoctrination for 2 weeks, where basically we're just getting chewed out for 2 whole weeks doing PT and running around doing stuff, discipline, structure, marching in groups, being wearing uniforms, a regimented lifestyle basically. And then usually the last night or the night before we graduate from indoctrination, they have what they call a hell night, basically. They wake us up in the dead of night with air horns, banging pots and pans, ringing bells, blowing whistles, whatever loud noise that they can make to wake us all up in the middle of the night. And they make us all run outside and just do PT like for several hours. I think I did jumping jacks, push-ups, running around campus for like a good 2 or 3 hours. And then they forced us all down onto the beach, and we all stood there. And we just basically got chewed out for 30 minutes. And then finally they said, congratulations, you have completed Indoc and you are now part of this company, whichever company you were a part of. At school, I think we had 6 companies. I was part of company 3, and I really loved it. And after being on the beach, sweaty, disgusting, they grabbed some seaweed and mud from the beach and smeared it all over our face, and they say that's your initiation, basically. And it was a lot of fun. And then when we went back to our rooms, there was pizza waiting for us, so it was awesome. And you just love moments and traditions like that. And then now that was at the beginning of the school year for the freshmen coming into the college for the very first time. And then that winter before Christmas break, they had another awakening like that, but it was for a different purpose, and they called it the Viking Bath, which I had a lot of fun with. I think I had way too much fun with it. They wake us up again in the dead of night, in the dead of winter, and it's freezing out, and they PT us for at least an hour just to get a sweat going, and then they take us all out into the beach and they say, "Gut in the water." So we all just charge right into the water and get completely soaked. And the water was freezing, but we all loved it because it's just a together moment, going in with your company, all your friends and shipmates, working together, and then just going to enjoy this Viking bath, as they call it. And it's just a lot of fun, and I think I stayed in the water for like a good 2 or 3 minutes while everybody else just quickly jumped in, was too cold, and then jumped out. And that's what kind of got me started with polar bear plunges when I was working in Italy for 2 years. The actual locals will actually go onto the beach on January 1st and actually go in for a swim. And I did that for 2 times. And it was a lot of fun. And the water there wasn't as freezing as it was in the States. So I actually stayed in the water for like a good 10, 20 minutes and just swam around and had a good time. And I haven't done it since, but I would like to try it again. Maybe this year. You never know. Another tradition for Halloween, obviously, everybody dresses up at the school in a costume, but the seniors will actually go to the freshman dorm and go trick or treating, and the freshmen have to give candy to the seniors. But it has evolved to the point where it's not just a trick or treat innocent type deal. They actually get into a full on brawl and pretty much attack each other with shaving cream and water and other items that are really messy and disgusting. Silly string, and they just have an all-out brawl, a fight, and nothing too physical, but it's just a fun mess, and they just go at each other. Whereas the sophomores and juniors will go to the mess deck and have like a Halloween party. There's food and candy, and they just socialize in their costumes and just have fun. But I thought that was an interesting tradition for the school. And then when we're out at sea on our training ship, we actually have casino night, which is a lot of fun. And I swear, I really wish one of these days I can go into a casino, any casino anywhere, even if it's done by a school or some unofficial casino, that they play the theme casino night from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I would absolutely love that. And I think that should be required of some casinos to at least play that every once in a while, just to give a nostalgic rush to everybody who was born and raised in that era of Sega Genesis. And I always liked to be the blackjack dealer. I didn't really like taking their fake money and just going around gambling with it. I just liked to play the game, and I was one of the blackjack dealers. And as much as I wanted to be like Homer Simpson and just keep pulling out cards and getting busts and giving everybody money, no, I had to play by the rules. So I was the dealer. And then at the end of the night, you take all your winnings and you can bid on prizes. And the prizes were just envelopes. But inside, it had like gift cards to stores, or it had privileges that you can win on campus, like you can get inspection off for a week or a month, or you didn't have to go to formation, or you didn't have to clean your room or anything. But they also had bogus prizes too that you had to watch out for. Like you can get a free meal at the mess deck, but it's already free because it's included in your tuition. Or you can get a free haircut. Again, you go to the barber, you can get it done for free because it's included in your tuition. And just a bunch of other silly gag prizes that you got to watch out for. So it was a gamble because it's a casino. And then finally, at the end of the year, they have Mutiny Night, where all the freshmen go and attack the seniors for all the crap that they were put through the entire year. They like wrap up the seniors and then spray silly string and shaving creams on them, or they strap them to the hood of a car and take them for a ride around campus. I've seen that happen. Or they will take the seniors and throw them in the river or the water that they were forced into for the Viking bath. So that was a lot of fun too. And I remember being a senior, and when Mutiny Night came around, I actually went to the science hall and just hung out in one of the empty classrooms. Because I did not want to have to be thrown in the river or whatever other terror that they had planned for me. But when I did return to my room, it was trashed. So they got into my room, ruined my bed, they ruined my hospital corners, and they threw my clothes all over the room. And I was like, you know what, I'll take it, whatever. So I think we can go over a few quick random facts. I think they're always fun, food for thought. And who knows, you may learn something, learn something new every day, right? I was reading about the expression getting someone's goat, and that actually comes from a racetrack for horses. Owners, what they would do to kind of give a morale boost to their horses so they run better, or run faster is that they would bring a goat with them to the racetrack. So the horse would mentally think that their competition is against a goat. So they're thinking, oh, this is going to be no problem. I'm going to run awesome. And what other owners of other racehorses would do, if they're rivals, they would actually try and steal that other horse's goat. So the horse gets upset and runs a poor race because it doesn't see what its competition is like against a goat, and it's just a morale attack against him, and that's where that expression comes from: getting someone's goat, just to annoy them or make them perform poorly. And I absolutely hate spiders, but I thought this next fact was kind of interesting, that spider silk that they use for their webs is actually incredibly strong. Certain spiders and their webs can be considered as strong as steel of the same diameter, which I think is ridiculous. But it makes sense too, because you touch that stuff, it's not unreasonable that bugs get stuck in it all the time, and then they're feasted upon by the spiders. But I have come across spider webs before when I'm cleaning out like an old shed or whatever, and just touching it, I can feel, no matter how old it is, I can feel just how sticky and strong it is, and it is annoying. But from certain spiders, a pencil thick strand of that silk that they weave can actually stop a Boeing 747 while it's in flight. And it just amazes me that something so simple as a pencil thick strand of spider silk can stop something so powerful and amazing, man-made craft like an airplane, a Boeing 747, while it's in flight. And I mean, those things are powerful, and nature just proves that it's even more powerful than anything that we could come up with. And then this final fact, again, I think it's interesting, and what I've actually tried to detect in movies, but I couldn't yet. But they say they have certain scenes called Walla Walla scenes, and what that is extras that are in the movie. People in the background. They call it a Walla Walla scene when the extras are trying to have a conversation. They say when you say Walla Walla, it looks like you're having a conversation. So the people in the background are just saying Walla Walla all the time. And for certain movies of that era, I've been trying to watch the extras when I can and see if I can detect them saying Walla Walla. And I haven't yet. So I don't know how true that is. It may be an antiquated technique that Hollywood would do for its extras when filming movies, but I think since then, they probably discarded that, and they actually come up with like fake conversations that the extras have to memorize and then just talk about in the background. Not that anybody can hear them, but they're not just saying Walla Walla all the time. So I think we'll finish it there, and I just want to say it's been real. It's been fun, and with you here with me, it's been real fun. So thank you for joining me. Have a good day.